What's going on, y'all? Another episode of It's Matter of Fact, yeah, or whatever. How are you guys doing? Hope you guys are all doing well. Oh, man, my knees are killing me. I think I slept wrong last night. There goes the crack. I don't know if the microphone caught that, but that felt fantastic. Anyway, as I always love to start this off, let's start off with some dumb shit that happened at work. Now, you would think that after all the stories I've told you, like you would think customer service won't get any worse than your next story about a customer. No, it sure doesn't. I almost got into an argument with this one dude about a $3 difference. Keep in mind, and here's another thing, is that like I've begun to realize this, especially working at my job, is that I think I'm a good judge of character based on like how someone looks. Like just from like the last 3 years I've been there. Hello. So something's on fire. Is that like, you know, when I guess just from being a cashier from a Giant, and then like, you know, being a cashier there, then like a manager, so it's like when I see someone approaching, like just from like either from what they're wearing to their facial expression when they're walking up to the counter, like it's just like, I don't know. I think just from being in customer service for so long, it's like I can tell, like, oh yeah, this guy's gonna be an asshole, or oh yeah, this lady's probably gonna be a good person. You know, she looks happy, you know. So these two guys come up because we are super busy, and for some reason my job doesn't know how to use their money. Before I even get to this story, is that I feel like my job needs to focus on how they're spending their money. Like, for those of you that don't know how I'm just basing this off from what I know from my previous job, so I'm pretty sure maybe it's a similar fashion. The only difference is that, you know, my job now is retail, the other one was a grocery store, but it's kind of the same thing. Is that, like, the district manager, you know, based on, like, how much the store makes and all that, the district manager, I believe, I could be wrong, I'm not 100%, I said, no. They get like I don't know, I'll throw a random number out there. Like they're like, okay, you made this such money for these past week. All right, here's 600 hours. And you know they send, you know, well, each store gets a certain number of hours for that week, I believe, since my schedule's bi-weekly. So you know they gets to my store like, all right, here's 600 hours. Divide that up between all your employees. Well, obviously the full-time people, automatic 40 hours, even though they really don't get 40 hours, they get 37.4 to avoid benefits. But so you know, so I think we have like what, 1, 2, 3, like I don't know, like 3 or 4 full-time people. So you know that's a good handful of hours already. Then of course you have the store manager themselves. They sometimes work like 10-hour shifts every week. So, you know, I mean, everyone gets at least 2 days off or 1 day. So 7, you know, so that's at least 60-hour weeks. So let's think. So there's a store manager, and then we have 4 assistant store managers. So, you know, actually, I'm actually kind of interested. Hold on, let me do the math real quick. So, 60. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, see, that's 300 hours just between them. That's 300 hours. So then, you know, after all the full-time people and all the managers, and like I said, a random number, 600 hours. So that's like, what? I don't know, I suck at math. So that's like 200 hours left over for like all the part-time people. And you have way more part-time people than you have full-time people. So then you have to cut everyone else's hours and then someone short, and then, you know. I just feel like my job really needs to pay attention because it's like corporate sends down a set of rules and stuff. Like I'll tell you what they told me a couple days ago is they're like, oh Matt, the number. I don't know why they like to refer them as numbers. That's stupid. Just say, hey, fucking corporate's complaining. Like, hey, the numbers coming back. All the front end managers or CSSs and all the full time people are ringing way too much. And he showed me a bunch of like scores and shit. Like, see, like CSSs, you guys should only be ringing like 3% of the time. The full time people, at least 30% of the time. And the whole time they're my boss is explaining this to me. I'm like, well, get some more fucking cashiers. Like, what do you expect when you guys schedule 4 cashiers the whole day, have the first person come in at 8:45, and then not have the second person come in until like fucking 1-2 o'clock in the afternoon? And, normally it gets busy around 11:30, 12 o'clock. So, of course, I'm going to be fucking ringing. Of course, the full-time people are going to be ringing. Because you're scheduling one person by themselves for 5.5 out of the 8 hours. So, of course, I'm going to have no choice but to ring. Because you don't want customers complaining now, do you? No. They don't want that. And we had I guess, like, your voice little survey. It's pretty much just all the employees do a survey and say like, oh, well, what do you think of this manager? And do you feel comfortable with your manager's performance? And then, of course, at the end, you voice your own opinion about what you like about the store and what could be done better in the store. And I fucking let them have it. I was like, I said this, well, not this company, but I said this store really needs to focus more on dividing up their hours, because if corporate does not want the full-time people and the CSSs ringing that much, then they need to schedule more cashiers. That way the full-time people do not have to ring as much and they can get their work done. And the CSSs can also get what they need to get done. And also to interact with the customers, which is majority of what we, I'm just summarizing it. Majority of what we do. And of course, it would also lead to happier customers. And that's what we want. That's what the company stands for, is to keep the customers happy. I know they don't fucking look at that shit. They think like, oh yeah, let them voice their opinion once a fucking year and they'll shut the fuck up. They don't look at that shit. And they say it's anonymous, but yet we have our own personal logins with our names and shit. And they don't read it? Yeah, okay. They don't know who's doing it? Okay. It's dumb. That's just me. It's like, I understand, sometimes you're like, hey, we only made, 30 grand this, I'm just throwing out around, 30 grand this week, so, besides the managers and the full-timers, and we're also counting people in receiving, which are people like who organize the clothes and stuff before they get put on the floor and also unloads the trucks. So, you're also counting those people. And, depending on how many trucks we're getting that morning, they have to figure out, oh, we have 4 trucks coming in, so we need everybody here. And then, they have like one fucking cashier all day. And another thing that pisses me off is that I know they don't organize the schedule that well, is that like they'll have all the people they need. But then, like, whenever I open, they'll call on the radio and ask, like, whoever the manager on duty is. They're like, hey, can you send so-and-so and so-and-so back here? Like, they're calling the only 2 people that are on the floor saying, hey, can you send them back here? We need help. Like, really? You guys got a full staff back there. Why do you need people from the floor? And then I got customers coming up to me saying, hey, I can't find anyone that can help me tie my shoes. It's okay, sir. I'll tie your shoes. That's just my thing. And here's a good one. For those of you that probably work in retail, like at Ross or something like that, is that they have I don't think this is 100% true. I could be wrong. I don't, But, my job is to, also, to interact with the customers. Make sure, hey, the stereotypical bullshit, like, oh, you guys find everything all right? I gotta sound like a fucking robot. Have you found everything you are looking for today? And now, normally I get in line, like if the line's long or, we have a few customers that are having big transactions, so other people got to wait in line, that's when I step in, conversate with them, kind of, say like, hey, we're getting everything done, we're trying to get you guys out of here. I don't want you guys waiting here all day. I put my own spin on it. I talk to them from their perspective, not corporates perspective. I'm like, hey, we're doing what we can. I know you guys don't want to be here all day. My job's to be here all day, not you guys, and shit like that. But like now it's like, but that's for like, if the line's getting a little long, or it's getting speed of checkout slow. So, that I don't have a problem with. I'll take off security tags and, stuff. So it's like, hey, man, let me take off a security tag. That way the cashier can just scan bag, whatever. But, like, now it's at the point to where they're like, oh, Matt, even if it's just, like, 3 customers in line. I'm like, I usually try to stay away from the beginning of the line because it's like they're literally going to be next. So I'm like, I don't need to, if you're in the back of the fucking line, yeah, I'm going to give you all the attention you want. Because, it's like, I don't want you to leave. But it's like, if you're like behind 2 fucking people, you're not really going to be that impatient. Even though this is like 1 cashier, I can understand if you have 2 people in front of you and you've been standing there for 15, 20 minutes, then yeah, I completely understand that. But, I don't know. I'm just like, that's unnecessary. Like, for all that, and then, like, situations like that are usually in the morning when we only have, like, 1 cashier, and I'm like, for all that, I could just ring, because I ring fast, so I'm like, I can just jump on the register, take care of the other 3 people, since my other one only cashier is, like, handling that 1 transaction. I'm like, that's better than having to take off their sensors, talk to them, and then they're just still fucking standing there. Like, I don't know. That's just me. And it's like, if the line is incredibly slow and we have like, we have like enough, but like we have way more customers than we have cashiers to support, then, I feel like I can only do so much as a human being, It's like, hey, I'll talk to you, I'll take off your sensors, I'll say like, hey, we're doing what we can to get you out of here. But, I'm not going to fucking stand there and have a fucking conversation with you. Because, like, if I'm at Walmart, like, Walmart doesn't even do this shit when the lines are long. But then again, it's fucking Walmart. You would expect something like that. But, if it's super busy in a retail store and I'm trying to buy my shit, I'm not going to be, if I've been standing in line for like 20 minutes and I don't see the line going anywhere, and, I have someone approach me, say, hey, how you guys doing? I'm like, whatever, like, like, I'm not going to want to fucking talk to you. I want to get my shit and get out. I don't want to stand there and have a conversation with you. And here's something that they don't know, because since they're upper management, they don't fucking deal with the same shit I deal with. You'd be, like, they would be surprised. And to be honest, I have a review coming up and I'm going to tell them about this. Is like, you'd be surprised how many times I was told to like fuck off while trying to hold the conversation. I'm like, hey, how you guys doing? I'm like, I'm still, hey, yeah, I'm waiting. I'm getting a little pissed. And I'm like, hey man, I'm sorry about that. We have everything, we're doing everything we can to make sure we get you guys out. Here, how about this? How about you go up there and fucking ring? Now, how would any other human being be able to react to that? Like, do you want me to be a corporate fucking robot and be like, well, sorry, man, I can't ring because, I'm a manager, but, we have everyone. Like, I'm not going to continue a conversation after someone says something like that to me. And it's like, I can't be mad at that guy because, that guy's been fucking waiting. And, I feel bad. the person inside me be like, you know what, dude, you're absolutely right. Let me get in the line, help you guys get out of here. I'm not just gonna continue a fucking conversation, because that's happened to me a few times when we were busy, especially around Christmas time. I'm like, all right, and I move on to the next fucking person. And if they fucking leave, they fucking leave. And it's like, whenever, I never see management get in line and talk to the customers. They'll talk to the customers on the floor, like if they're walking past, be like, hey, how you doing? You need help? But when it comes down to the line, they don't fucking talk to those people. Because they know they're going to get shit. And they're like, I don't get paid enough to deal with that shit. Which is bullshit. And of course, I'm going to tell, my boss that during my review. If it's a bad review. If it's a good review, I'm going to keep my mouth shut. Because, I want to get that raise, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, I just like, you guys keep telling me I need to be an example for the cashiers. Well, what about you guys? Shouldn't you guys be showing me and the other, front-end managers an example? Seeing like, hey, I talk to customers. Hey, I can fucking do that too. You guys never get in the line, take off sensors, and all that type of shit. You don't do that. And whenever a customer has a fucking issue, you toss them onto my lap. Like a dummy. Anyway, back to what I was going to say 10 minutes ago. I'm just rambling on and on. But yeah, there was these two guys. Because we were, it was busy and I had to ring. So these guys are coming up and I could just, they got, rings on their finger, like all blinged out and shit. I'm like, okay, guys, I see you. You doing your thing. I feel you do. But one of the guys kind of had like a somewhat, not angry, but kind of like annoyed look on his face. And I'm like, oh man, these guys are going to be a pain in my ass. I'm like, oh, I fucking know it. But two guys came up and I guess they were splitting their transactions. This is another thing. I hate it when a group of people are together and they're like, oh yeah, these are all separate. Like 15 people are separating their transaction, like doing 20 separate transactions. I can't stand that. If you have a separate transaction, then go to the next fucking cashier. Don't have me do like 30 transactions between 3 people. I hate that shit. If your transaction is not related to the other person, then go back to the fucking line and wait. I can't stand that shit. That's the only thing I don't like about retail. At least in a grocery store, when people are together, they'll be like, okay, here's my $40 and yeah, Greg, let me get 20 from you. That type of shit, and we'll pay together. No, not retail. Anyway, I'm just thinking to myself, oh man, these guys are going to be a pain in my ass. They're going to bitch and moan about something stupid. Watch. Lo and behold, I'm psychic. But, spoiler alert. So, the first guy comes up, he's like, yeah man, we split our transactions. I'm like, okay, cool, no problem. And, the first guy scanned up his stuff and all that. I'm like, okay, cool. The guy didn't have an attitude with me or nothing. So I'm like, oh, thank God. I'm like, okay, maybe I was wrong. And this guy, they're not going to give me attitude or whatever. Boy, I was wrong. This guy came up and said, like, with a little, those little skinny ass, thin little backpacks with, like, the shoestrings that, like, you put over your shoulders, those skinny ass little backpacks. Now, the regular price for them are $5.99, so basically $6. This guy tells me, like, hey, you got a... And this is like a Texans, I think. I think it was a Texans themed little string backpack thing. And he was like, yeah, man, you guys got some Laker ones that are like $2.99. But this one's $5.99. And I'm like, oh, well, most likely all the Laker ones were marked down because they, just, actual shit. Because I've done markdowns, so I know what the fuck I'm talking about. And it's like, most likely those Laker items have been in, in the store for, at least 60 to 90 days. So most likely those got marked down and we just got these Texan ones in. Most likely. He was like, but those are $5.99. I'm like, oh my god, okay, so this guy's gonna fucking argue with me. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna make his ass look stupid. I'm like, here, can I see one of those Laker ones? He was like, oh, cool, thinking like, oh yeah, I'm gonna fucking buy it. I'm like, no, if you're gonna be a piece of shit, then I'm gonna put you through shit then. He was like, yeah, see the $2.99. And, I looked on the back and I was like, yeah, see, man. And, I showed him the barcodes because every barcode has like a set of numbers at the bottom. And I was like, yeah, see, man, you see these barcodes? I'm picking up both of them. I was like, you see the barcodes? Like, see, like, the numbers on the back of these are different. So anything that has these set of numbers are going to be marked down. That's how I know the difference. Come on, man, can't you just give it to me? And I'm like, oh my fucking god. Keep in mind, throughout this whole conversation, the fucking line is slowly building up. First there was like 5 people, then when he went to go get the Lakers backpack, 10 people. So by the time he comes back and says, can't you just give it to me? There's like 30 fucking people waiting in line. I'm like, I don't have fucking time for this. And we don't have any more cashiers coming in. So it was like me and like 2 other people. And I'm like, oh my god, dude. I'm like, dude, I don't have time for this. So I was just like, alright, man, I'll just scan it for you. But, of course... he's not going to be able to fucking return it. Because I wrote down the receipt saying cannot be returned. Because he technically got a markdown price. But I was just like, whatever, dude. Just fucking take the fucking backpack. Like, keep in mind, this guy is fucking blinged out. Rings, jewelry, earrings, Gucci sunglasses, all this shit. And this guy's arguing with me about a $3 fucking difference. $3. Now, I can understand if it's like $10, $15, but $3 fucking, dude, really? You're gonna put up a fight argument with me about $3 fucking. I have $3 to my fucking name. Come on, dude. I was just like, fucking, I just gave it to him. And I was like, no, apparently I'm a great judge of character. When I saw him walking up, I'm like, they're gonna put me through shit. I was half right. His friend didn't give me any shit, but he did. $3 fucking. Like, sorry, man, following policy, shit. I'm trying to make this store money so I can get fucking paid, shit. Yeah, that's just fucking dumb. Just a lot of dumb. $3 fucking, dude, come on. Why don't you pawn one of those fake ass chains you got and get the $3? I guess it comes down to personal life. My internet's poop. I'm gonna have to call a tech person eventually because for some strange reason my internet's just been cutting out random times of the day. It hasn't cut out this morning so far. I've been up since like 8 and it hasn't really cut out or anything. And then for some reason, I guess this laptop I'm using is getting pretty old because I can't even stream on Twitch. By the way, follow me at twitch.tv/MATTtheFUNNYman. And I guess the Elgato software keeps crashing and shit after like 3 hours of streaming on it. So I'm trying to clean up some memory from it. I'm congested this morning for like no reason. So I don't know. Everything's like falling apart. But to be honest, it's probably not that bad. I'll probably just have to stream through my console again. But the whole reason why I got the Elgato is that I could stream anything. But what else? So I saw Infinity War. What was it? 26th? I gotta look at my calendar to look. Yeah, it was the 26th. And me and Prisha got super worried because like it was like only certain movie theaters that were showing them, so we had to go to one that was, well, no, this one was pretty close. So when we got up there, the line was like already fucking long, and I'm like, oh, I know why this line's long, Infinity War. So we get up there and we're like, oh yeah, what was it? It was the 7 o'clock show because me and her have to both go to work in the morning. So it's like we didn't want to see like a really late show because it's like 2.5, 3 hours long. So we didn't want to be like 11 o'clock by the time we got home. So we're like, oh yeah, we'll see the 7 o'clock show. The guy immediately said, yeah, man, we're all sold out. I'm like, no, We came all the way up here for nothing. He's like, we still got some 3D shows left. I'm like, ugh. Because I'm not that pressed to see a 3D movie. Not really. Like, I'd rather save a couple bucks and just watch the standard. Like, I don't need shit coming at my face. So I looked at her, I was like, I mean, you want to spend, like, the extra fucking $6 to go see the 3D version? And she was like, I guess. She was like, I don't want to waste money going back home for nothing. I was like, yeah, it's true. So, we spent the other $6 for those glasses to see in 3D. And that's I don't even know why they give you those glasses. You know you could be a total shithead. Pay for like a standard version. Keep those 3D glasses with you. Then just go to the 3D like viewing once you get back there. Because it's like you can pay to see like whatever movie. And like once you go past the concessions, like you could just fucking go see any movie really. And I've wanted to do that, like plan out like a heist. Like saying like, okay, this movie's like an hour and a half. That like another movie starts like around that time. We just fucking make a break for it to the other theater. I've wanted to do that. Just to see if I could get away with it. Kmart needs to stop fucking emailing me shit. I know this is not Kmart. I don't shop at Kmart. Oh, Starbucks rewards. Hold on, guys. I'm checking my... I usually like to check my emails and stuff while I'm talking. But I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Besides my internet being poopy. Oh, 2 purchases, 25 stars. Nice. Get my free beverage. I've been getting more spam shit, too. I've been thinking about, like, Matt Reed spam, too. But then I'm like, majority of these are, like, the same thing. By the same fucking people, like Sarah. Hi! Is this Matt? Matt, stop sending me these photos. I don't use email. Like, come on. Stop you. Like, no one goes by the name Sarah anymore. I'm still getting those telemarketer calls for taxes. I mean, I haven't gotten that much anymore because I think the tax thing's over. But I got sick of... I was getting those phone calls like every other day. Speaking of that, let me block that other number. I'm glad now cell phones have the thing to where you can just block numbers now. With the press of a button. Because, man, do I block a lot of fucking numbers. But this one particular telemarketer call... I gotta tell you guys about this because this... Well, at least to me, it's funny. Is that, you know, it was one of those telemarketer calls where it's like, hey, this is Officer So-and-so. If you don't pay your taxes, we're going to send out a warrant for your arrest and shit. And I'm like, first of all, why is a cop calling me? But I was like, you know what? I'm sick of these fucking people calling me. Because I've noticed it's the same number. So I'm like, you know, I'm just fucking calling them back just to give them shit. And of course, you know, it's one of those stereotypical, yes, sir, I would like to tell you that you owe $16,000 to the U.S. government Department of Treasury. So I was just like, yeah, I just straight up told him, I was like, yeah, man, I just going to call and tell you guys I'm not going to fucking pay. Well, I ain't curse. Because that's another thing. If you cuss, they'll just hang up on you. So it's like, yeah, I just wanted to call you back, guys back to let you guys know that I'm not paying. He was like, sir, you must not understand the consequences of not paying tax. And I'm like, well, I mean, I was like, MC Hammer got away with it for a while. Wesley Snipes got away with it for a while. And they're celebrities. I can get away with it because y'all don't know me. He was like, you know, so we're gonna go ahead and send out a warrant for your arrest. And I was like, oh, what's my name? He was like, sir, that doesn't matter at this point. I'm like, okay, well, where am I located? Just to call them out in their shit because, you know, I still have my DC phone number on my cell phone since, even though I live in Vegas. So I was like, I'm gonna call him out on his bullshit and fucking laugh at him. So he was like, sir, we know where you are. You are in Washington, D.C. And I was like, evil laugh. No, I live in Vegas. I was like, oh, you said you were gonna. That's another thing. He was gonna triangulate through my cell phone signal, and I was like, okay, where am I located? He's like, Washington D.C. I'm like, no, I'm not. I was like, no, I live in Vegas. I kept my D.C. number. He's like, so you need to fix your fucking satellite, shithead. So, like, just from, like, the remainder of the time while he was talking, I was just laughing at him. I was like, ha 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 ha. Up until the point he just hung up on me. I should have fucking called him back, like, an hour later, saying, hey, man, I'm still waiting for the cops. They called the next day, like, I still haven't gotten arrested yet. Oh, damn, no, I should have called him back, telling him I was in prison. Saying, yeah, man, I got my one phone call. I wanted to call you guys back to let you know, hey, man, I'm sorry. I'm ready to pay my taxes now. Damn, I should have did that. I know being a telemarketer sucks. Believe me. So, like, you know, people tell me, like, you know, hey, you know, they don't really have a choice. It's like, call this person. But we've called them. Do it. Okay. So sometimes I do feel bad when I call him back and give him shit, but it's like, hey man, don't fucking keep calling my phone asking, like that fucking, I don't remember if I told you guys about this, but it was like a telemarketer that kept blowing up my phone at least 5 times a day asking for a woman named Betty and college fund and shit like that. So long story short, I got fed up and I was like, you know what? I don't go to work till fucking 6:30. It's 10:15. I got time to kill. So I just kept calling them and calling them and calling them. Like I was calling them, asking them for Betty. And they're like, oh, well, we're calling asking for Betty. And I'm like, well, I'm calling asking for Betty. Is she there? And they're like, sir, like, up until the point where I think they kind of figured out what I was doing. I was like, no, Betty is here. And I was like, well, since I have you on the phone, I want to get in touch with you about some great insurance, you know, and shit like that. And, like, it got down to the point to where every single time I called, I got a different person. So at least 20 minutes later of consistently calling back, I think it got down to the point to where I reached every single person there. Up until where I finally got the pickup 20 minutes later, and there was, like, nothing. And I'm like, hello? Is Betty there? And it was like, sir, can you please stop calling us? I was like, yes, is Betty, are you Betty? And that's another thing is that, I called him out once. I was like, is this Betty? And I'm like, do I sound like a Betty to you? So I guess whoever I spoke to, he claimed he was a supervisor. And he was like, sir, can you please stop calling us? You're tying up our line. And I was like, I don't know. And I was like, should I? Because you guys been blowing up my phone 5 times a day. Like, seriously, it was like literally 5 times every single day. And I was like, I just spent the last 20 minutes calling you guys up. I was like, I got all day. I can do this all day. He was like, sir, do you want us to put you on the do not call list? And I was like, yeah, I'd really appreciate that. And can you guys not text me either? You're using up my anytime minutes. He was like, yes, sir, if you could please stop. I'm like, all right, no problem. Have a good one. Now, I haven't heard back from them, but every now and then, like every couple of months, we'll go by and I'll get a text saying, hey, Betty, call this number today, because they know they can't fucking call me anymore, because after that conversation with them, I blocked their number. So I guess they have no choice but to try to text me through other numbers and shit. And that sucks, because you would think, like, I guess all these telemarketers had to adapt, because no one has landlines anymore. Everyone's just got a cell phone. So now the telemarketers switched up saying, yeah, we gotta call people's cell phones now. No one has landlines. We're running out of landline numbers to call. So, yeah, so that group texted me back, I think it was like 2 weeks ago. And I was like, okay, let me block this number so they can stop texting me. But I will say, man, after that 5-minute conversation with that supervisor or whatever, they didn't fucking call me anymore. And to be honest, I feel like that's what you kind of have to do. It's like if you're getting consistent calls from a specific telemarketer, and you can kind of tell because they'll have the same intro, just do that. Tie up their fucking lines and just keep calling them, and they'll just... Because, like, even before that conversation took place, I kept telling them, like, hey, can you put me on the do not call list? Like, don't fucking call me, man. And they were like, okay. Next day, is Betty there? And I'm like, okay. So, yeah, give them one warning. Just say, like, hey, put me on your do not call list. Or something. Don't call. And they call you back, tie up their fucking line. If you're off and you have nothing planned, sit on the phone and just call them back and do the same shit they do to you. They'll stop calling you. Except for those scam, like the ones like that are in India and shit, it doesn't work on them for some strange reason. It doesn't work. I guess because they're more advanced. Because, like, even if you do that type of shit, they'll just keep hanging up on you and all that. Like, even though you get in touch with someone saying, hey, don't put me on the do not call list, they'll just fucking keep calling you anyway. So, it doesn't work on them. Unless you're a hacker, then absolutely hack the shit out of their system. And those are some videos I've been watching lately, like, hackers hacking into their call center. And just shutting down all their systems, and they're just like, sir, what are you doing? What are you doing? What's going on? And they're like, what? I don't know what you're talking about. And they just hack their shit. It's hilarious. I was like, damn, I wish I knew how to do that. Sweet, sweet revenge. The non-threatening kind. It's the best kind. And man, public transportation. I wish I was mentally capable of driving. Because I feel like I sure as hell can't drive. I know I'll have like mad road rage problems. I'll be like, hey, you fucking asshole, you cut me off! You know, like I would just lose my fucking mind. But, I forgot, what's that saying about, takes a village to raise a child, or some shit like that? This is my friend, Patrick. By the way, shout out to Patrick. That's what he told me, yesterday. Or not yesterday. Was it yesterday? Yesterday or the day before yesterday. I don't remember. And it's because I was on my way to work. And it's really good when I don't have a lot of wait time when it comes to connecting buses. Like, if it takes me like 48 minutes to get to work, that means I know I got like maybe a 10-minute wait when I get off one bus and get onto the other. So when I saw them, I'm like, yes, I don't have to wait forever for a bus. So when I get on the first bus, I got my headphones on, jamming out. Then we get to literally the second stop out of 4. There's 4 stops. We get to the very next one. I'm hearing, well, not wham, but I kind of jumped the gun here, but it was kind of very distant. And this lady got on with her kid. And like not even 10 seconds later after sitting down. Hold on, I want to get far away from my... All you heard was... like that loud. I'm sorry, son. Simon's looking at me like, dude, what the fuck? I was sleeping, bro. I'm sorry, Simon. I'm sorry, buddy. I don't know why. Whenever I'm recording a podcast, he always likes to sit next to me and just sleep. Oh, and he does that when I stream too. I don't know. Maybe does he like the sound of my voice? I don't know. But yeah, just like I know sometimes little kids throw like a fucking temper tantrum and they tire themselves out. This kid did not fucking tire out. Like, it got louder and louder and louder. Wah! Wah! Like someone was fucking stabbing the child. Like, fucking, wah! Wah! Like, someone, like, Jesus Christ. And, you know, I was on my phone with my headphones on, so I wasn't trying to pay attention. But obviously, I could fucking hear it. And I, like, kind of, like, look over, and I pause my music just so I can be nosy but still look at my phone. This kid is throwing a major fucking fit because she didn't want to sit. She wanted to sit in her stroller and she couldn't because, you know, like on a bus, you know, the bus driver says, like, you know, hey, you can't have your kids in your car seat. Well, car seat I think is a different story, but, like, you know, you can't have your kids in the fucking stroller while the bus is in motion because, you know, you never know if the bus driver slam on his brakes, you lose control of the stroller, and your kid just going down all the way to the end of the bus and bam, hits something. So a lot of times, like, and it was a big ass kid. The kid had to be at least maybe 6, 7. It could sit in a fucking seat. That's another thing I've noticed from being out here is that a lot of parents. These kids are like almost 10 years old, big as fuck, sitting in a stroller. I don't understand that. Like, is your kid too lazy to walk, or are you too lazy to hold their hand? Get those fucking leashes, man. Me and Precia have already talked about it. If we do happen to have a kid, we're getting a fucking leash for that for our kid. Because kids like to wander and shit, man. You gotta keep them close to you. If someone snatch up your kid, or your kids get lost, I'm not gonna have any shame. They're gonna have the little backpack thing. I'm gonna, you know, and all that. Yeah, I'm putting my kid on a leash. Especially if it's a boy, he's gonna be just as crazy as I am. So yeah, he's getting a fucking leash. But oh my god, like, and it's a 7-minute bus ride. It's 7 minutes, but it was a lot longer because of the fact that this lady could not control her fucking child for, like, nothing. Like, she's picking her up and she's fighting her out, like throwing her arms in the air, it's like she was fucking kidnapped. Like, it's like that child was getting kidnapped. And the child was trying to fight her off. Get off me! I'm like, oh my god, lady, seriously. And because this has happened on more than one occasion, especially when I lived back in DC when someone couldn't control their fucking kid and they're just running around the bus. The driver's not going to fucking go anywhere because they don't want to floor it. And then the bus is jerks and then the kid's just rolling around in the middle of the bus knocking their head on something. So this kid is like fucking freaking out because she didn't want to sit in a seat. She wanted to sit in her stroller. And, like, a stroller's just like a bottle. You gotta fucking wean that kid off. You gotta say, like, hey, look, you're getting older. Fucking walk, man. Like, I've never seen a kid want to get back into a stroller so fucking badly than this little girl. And, like, each time the lady can't fucking take the kid, wailing her arms and kicking her feet and all that, she sets her in the seat. She immediately jumps down and just lays on the floor. Like, trying to get back up, back into the stroller. Then the woman's got to take her away, try to pick her back up. Like, it's an ongoing cycle. She picks the kid up, kid freaks, puts her on the seat, she gets down, back in the stroller, picks back up, freaking out, back in the seat, lays on the floor. It's just a rotating circle. This goes on for about a good 15 fucking minutes. Up until the point where the bus driver was like, ma'am, can you control your child? And, of course, there had to be that one fucking person that's like, the kid's not bothering anybody, just go. And I'm like, oh, my God. But the bus driver's like, I'm not pulling off from this bus stop until that child is in a seat. I'm not going to start at the bus and then that kid hit their head on something. And, of course, another lady's like, just go, the kid's not bothering anybody, just go. And I'm like, oh, my God. Like, by the 15-minute mark, I'm like, I'm pissed. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, just, like, I even called Prisha. I'm like, hey, babe, I just spent $5 for a fucking day pass, but look, I'm going to have to jump into Uber. I'm not trying to be late for fucking work. And I can understand, like, you know, like, hey, just drive the fucking bus, but at the same time, I can't really be mad at the driver because he wants to keep his fucking job. You know, a kid bangs his head and bleed all over the bus. His boss is going to be like, hey, what the fuck happened? Oh, well, this woman couldn't control her child, like laying on the floor and all that. Passengers just told me to just go, and the child wasn't in the seat. No, the woman couldn't control. So you decided to go instead of stopping the bus. You know what? You're fired. You know what I mean? Like, so I can't really be mad at that dude. He's trying to protect his job. But, like, the woman was like, oh my god, like, the woman, like, could not control her fucking kid. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, I don't know. My kid would never do that type of shit. I never did that type of shit. Let me act... See, I had the type of... See, my mother and the way she was is that she would just fucking look at me. Just look at me, and I would fucking stop. Because I know I would get my ass kicked when I get in the house. Even when at that age, if I was acting up, my mom would just do that quick turn around with her neck and just... Tomatoes! Like, you know, loud, crazy, satanic music. As she's looking at me with her eyes all big. And I'm like, okay, Mom, I'll stop. But, like, man, like, and eventually 15 minutes go by. And, I'm like, before then, I'm like, I'm about to just say fucking get off this bus. Because, like, the only reason why I didn't get off the bus immediately, because I'm like, I still had time to catch the bus. But then around the 13-minute mark and the fact we had, like, 2 more stops, I'm like, fuck, I'm not going to make it. I was like, should I just get off the bus now at this point? But then I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to at least get to the other stop and then just catch an Uber from there. That way I'm saving a couple bucks. But, man, like, even by the time the woman had control of this fucking kid, still, like, I was thinking the kid was mutating at this point. And then, we get to the next stop, and at this point, okay, I gotta get up. I can't hear that anymore. So then, like, as I'm talking to Prisha over the phone, and she was like, what's going on that bus? And I was like, some fucking kid. She's like, I know I can hear him. Is that lady alright? I was like, yeah, the fucking kid's losing her fucking mind, and mother doesn't know what the fuck to do. And, like, at this point, by the time we get to the last stop, other people are getting up out of their seats, going over to this kid. And I'm like, that kid does not want a bunch of fucking people on her face. You guys are just making the situation worse. You got a kid freaking out, then you have a bunch of adults surrounding her. She's gonna be like, yeah, so many people on my face. Yeah. And I'm just like, oh my god. And of course, like, between the last stop and the second stop, someone was like, just to let everyone know, there's a bus that anyone that wants to get off the bus, there's another bus 2 minutes behind me. I think he was kind of putting the mom on blast, saying like, hey, there's literally another bus. That's how long I had to wait for your fucking kid you to gain control of your kid. But, like, even by the time I got off the bus, like, I could just still hear the baby crying at, like, when I was off the bus walking. It was just like, wah, 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 wah. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, parents, like, if you're not sure if you can handle a fucking kid, or if you're with a guy or a girl that ain't shit, don't fucking make a kid, man. Because you're not only going to make yourselves miserable, but you're going to make that fucking child miserable. Don't fucking do it, man. That's why I hate, like, oh, you're selfish. You don't want to have a kid. Like, no, it's not being fucking selfish. Number one, kids are expensive. It's like, what, $8,000 just to get the kid out of you and out of the hospital? I'm not spending all that fucking money. You can have insurance all the fuck you want. You still gotta pay a good, like Preach had to go to the ER. All right, I'm just throwing this out as an example. She's fine, you know. It wasn't anything. It was just allergies and shit like that. But she had a hard time breathing, so she just said, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna go to the hospital." And of course, I was at work at the time, and I feel horrible. I feel horrible about it. Whenever something's wrong with her and I'm not there, I feel like I'm a piece of shit because I'm like, I could have been there to fucking protect her, like, but I'm at work. But she was fine and everything. It was just like allergies and shit like that. They gave her some antibiotics and all the technical shit. But like we're still paying like $300 fucking bucks or $350. I don't remember, but it's like $300 from a trip to the ER. Thankfully, our insurance paid for majority of it. But like I said, like insurance can only pay but so much. It's not like you can get insurance and you just like, oh yeah, here's $5, whatever. Like it's hospitals are expensive. I wish it wasn't. I have to pay money to live? Everything requires money, man. But yeah, man, hospitals are expensive. So we're not being so, like, I even told her, I said, if we can get like, I don't know, a few grands in our savings account and we have a car, then I'm all for a kid. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm working full-time, if we're both, like, working full-time, we have a car, and, we have, like, plenty of money to where we don't have to worry about bills or taking money out of our savings account, then I'm all for a fucking kid. Because I do want a kid. Because, there's a few things left in my life I still want to accomplish. Like, I still want to get a tattoo, and I want to have a kid. Because I want to get the most... Because you only live once. Even if I'm reincarnated, I'm not going to remember any of this shit. So, if I get to live like this one life once, I want to get, the most I can out of it. You know what I mean? But it costs money, man. Even to travel. I want to travel, man. That costs money. So, yeah, it's not being selfish. It's being smart. You want to have $5 to your name and have a kid? No one wants to fucking do that. Condoms are $3.75 for a 3-pack. They hand out like free condoms in certain clinics. There is no excuse. It's way cheaper than paying like 10 grand just to birth your child, get the medical attention it needs, and then, take the child out of the hospital. That's a lot of fucking money. Even through a payment plan, that's a lot of fucking money. I just love the fact that, like, as a kid, I'm like, this show you how spoiled I probably was. I mean, I'm pretty sure other people thought like this, but like, like when you're a kid, you're like, oh, $50. Oh, thanks. They can give me some stuff. You get $100. You're like, oh, okay, $100. $300. Holy shit, that's a lot of fucking money. But as I get older, there's no longer, oh man, $300. I'm like, god damn it, $300 fucking dollars, motherfucker. It's like it's like $300 when you're a kid. You're like, oh wow, that's a lot of money. And you're an adult, you hear $300 and you're not getting the $300. You're like, god damn it, $300. Oh man, it's some good water, straight from the faucet. But I don't know. That's about all that's happened, really. Guy argues with me about $3. People not controlling their kids. It's a lot of stuff going on. But I believe that's going to conclude for another episode of It's a Matter of Fact. I need to make a theme song or something for this. Something that's not copyrighted. But anyway, I appreciate you guys listening. If you guys love this, hit that subscribe-y-ribey. Ring-a-ding-ding the belly bell. And of course, feel free to click any of these links you see on the screen. There's a lot of stuff to choose from. And I will see you guys in the next video.